Tinubu's AD roasts Ezekwesili over stand on president's alleged forged certificate. Ha ha ha. They're just roasting her now. The world knows the truth. The world knows the truth. The world knows the truth. That is it. The world knows the truth. So we really need to, stand on the truth, irrespective of who is involved. That is it. Now, Ezekwesili, a former Minister of Education, has been verbally attacked for her response to the purported fake certificate that President Bola Tinubu allegedly presented. Now, in a social media post on Wednesday, Temitope Ajayi, the senior special assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, referred to her as the most careless and disorganized former senior government official. Additionally, he charged Ezekwesili with always appealing to a crowd at all times. In accordance with a court order from the United States, the Chicago State University handed over Tinubu's academic transcripts to the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar on Monday. According to a petition Atiku filed, Tinubu submitted forged document to the Independent National Electoral Commission in order to run in the election of 2023. Atiku claimed that Tinubu's documents were made public as a result. In response to claims that a certificate was faked, Ezekwesili stated that President Tinubu would have spared the nation and the people the embarrassment if he had voluntarily asked the institution to publish his academic credentials. Now, she claimed that the university's release of the document would have been less traumatic, and she added that such exemplary disclosure would also dispel all skepticism. Now, the presidential AD, however, took issue with her response and accused the former minister of being impolite. On the macro-blogging site X, he posted, "I have never seen any former senior government official or a former minister that is as careless and indisciplined as Ezekwesili, with the way and manner she intervenes on issues of public interest." She reacted to Atiku Abubakar's flimsy Chicago State University case in a manner that is typical of her, giving in to her instinctual inclinations. Every situation is a chance for Madam Obi to appeal to the crowd. Now, when one reaches a certain level and status in life, some decorum is expected. Can you imagine? But she didn't say anything wrong. Tinubu shouldn't have made attempt to block the release of those certificates. And even when, what was his reason for saying they should not be released in the first place? That it will cause him irreparable damage. And all Nigerians were flabbergasted and were surprised and said, what irreparable damage would this cause you? Okay, when he eventually agreed that they can be released, he said they should not release his gender and admission documents. It should be only the certificate. So telling you that there's something about the gender, there is something about the admission document, meaning that the document is not his own. So Tinubu knows from day one that he forged everything. He forged the record for the admission, he forged the certificate, and he forged signatures on the certificate. He forged the document for admission, everything. So what are we saying? And he tried to shield it. So Obi was right. If Tinubu had, had allowed the CSU to just, or tell the CSU to release those documents to the public, let the public see, I'm sure he would have received a lot of passionate management from the public. People would have been very passionate with him. It would have been easy to handle, and then probably he would have received some kind of compassionate consideration. But now, with the way he's behaving, he showed that he knew what he did from the beginning, and it's not allowed. It's not allowed. So this one that Temitope Ajayi is trying to blast Obi is just the rift they have for the Igbos, Yoruba Igbo rift. And that takes me to the next level. Is Nigeria really one? Nigeria is not one. Whether we like it or not, Nigeria is not one. So we really need to watch it, because the way things are going, They are just saying Nigeria will not disintegrate. Anybody that says Nigeria will not disintegrate is a lie. It's a matter of time, and it's building up. All right, the forces that will disintegrate the country is building up, whether we accept the truth or not. So people are already reacting to what Temitope said against Ezekwesili here, and obviously we know as usual it's going to be bullet for bullet between the Yorubas and the Igbos. The Hausas and the Fulanis are just watching from one corner. Initially, during Buhari government, it was between the Fulanis and the Igbos. Now Buhari is gone, a Yoruba man is there. Now it's between the Yorubas and the Igbos. I don't know why everybody is against the Igbos, but I think if you don't like them, then let them go. That is it. Why you say you don't like them? You say they cannot lead Nigeria, and you say they cannot go. No, now there will be anarchy, whether I like it or not, and there will be anarchy at some point. So Tinubu is fast destroying the unity of Nigeria. Okay, he has had that Nigeria has had since its desperation to rule. He is fast putting the country into tribal war. Those supporting his certificate forgery seem to be mostly from his Yoruba sisters and brothers, and forgetting that he is not the first with unfortunate issues like this, and they were asked to resign for integrity's sake. May this saga bring to the end this one Niger. We can't give a different interpretation to this offense other than what has been interpreted before. Exactly. The best decorum ever is to tell a fraudster you deserve to resign and be punished for your crime and not to condone it. And that is it. Yes, that is somebody like Obi Fraud and Atiku Fail. Can you imagine? Your criminal's candidate that is not destined to rule the good people of Nigeria, not someone like Jagaban, the man we know and trust. Can you imagine? This is crazy. This is sycophants, worst level of sycophants, I tell you. Nigeria is still in bondage because it has no room for truth. Dishonest people have almost completely taken over the socioeconomic and political space of Nigeria. Anyone saying the truth is an enemy. Okay? How did we get to this point as a people? It is only truth that can set us free, irrespective of our ethnic or religious and party affiliations. We should embrace truth and see the hand of God Almighty in Nigeria. Some people can only excel in trading no matter how educated they are. And so what does that mean? So I say that Igbos can only excel in trading and not in governance. That is a lie. Somebody say, tell me, you mean Madam Obi should observe decorum in a matter of the institution, distance itself, even out from certificate your principal submitted to INEC? Tell me, people like you are slowly damaging Nigeria because of selfish interest. There is God who see English. Obi Ezekwesili is a shining example of a public servant who served without blemish, unlike the controversial female president who is known as drug dealer. This Temitope is just seeking cheap popularity. I don't blame him. Truth is bitter. Did he forge or not? Leave all this talk. He did. Okay, she always behaved like an area woman, not realizing that she is an old. Can you imagine? They're insulting her now. And that's why they're insulting her now. And this is very bad. I tell you. And somebody saying, God, thank you for using Tinubu to expose a lot of things and persons in Nigeria. As for the Tinubu dogs, I can understand. Anyone drowning in the water looks for just about any straw to cling onto. Unfortunately for them, all the propaganda in the world cannot save Tinubu. It is too late to cry when the head is off. Peter Obi didn't approach any U.S. court, yet he is their subject of attacks regardless. By the way, we await Scene 2, the FBI exposure on Tinubu. It promises to be an even bigger tsunami. That is it. It's going to be a bigger tsunami. Now for Nigeria, I'm telling you. How did we get here? That's the biggest question. How did we get here? God will help us. Temitope is beginning to play the bad side of the game, the dirty game, the devil's advocate, because his master is involved. But how long will this happen? How long will this propaganda sustain them? Only God knows.